work on a project Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday of this week. Now, you'll want to pay attention to this. Don't get your laptops out right now, but you're going to want yours out because I tried to save the world one piece of paper at a time, and I didn't print all of the directions out for us just to recycle them later, so I left them on my lesson plans. So a reminder to get to my website, you click Our Staff from the middle school, or my lesson plans, Our Staff, 8th grade red team, down to my name in 8th grade math. We are on week 26, when it loads, February 14th, week 26, and it shows you that we're going to spend Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday on this project. Note on Wednesday, 5 constellations physically turned into Hoff by 3:10. No credit will be given for projects not turned in by 3:10 on Wednesday. If you turn nothing in, you get a 0. It's not like I'm going to bring it on Friday and she's going to give me partial credit. No. So if you don't have it done, you're better off probably turning something in rather than nothing. But I really believe if you use your class time, you'll be fine. All of the class periods, Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. So right here are your directions. This is where you'll want to go once you get your own devices out. So it says, Dr. Pythagoras has been personally handpicked by NASA to be this year's math teacher in space. NASA has heard about the reputation of Transformations Middle School's student scientists and has asked you for help in this mission. A constellation is a shape in the sky made by connecting stars. And here's 12 examples of different constellations that you're going to see today. Your task. Using the constellation provided on each task, graph the image after the given transformation. All 5 constellations are due by 3:10 on Wednesday, February 16th. No late assignments will be accepted. You'll be graded on proper movement of the given constellation, correct answers to the questions, neatness, and presentation of the project. Now, when I say presentation of the project, you're not getting up and presenting it, but what shape is it in? Is it got tapers torn off of it? It's been crumpled in your bag, or was it kept in a folder? You used the eraser, you wrote nice and neat. Be sure to look at the rubric as you work to make sure you're completing all tasks before you submit your work. So in just a minute, I'm going to give every single one of you your 5 constellations. So they're already drawn for you. And then in the last one, you have to create your own. But they tell you what to do. So like on this first one, it says, take the given constellation and translate it 12 units down and 8 to the left. You'll have a total of 2 constellations graphed on this piece of graph paper. And then on the side here, explain how you could have figured out the new coordinates without counting the boxes. Okay? And then you'll continue to go through 2, 3, and 4, and then there's a create your own one. Now, this is in place of an assessment, so you can't raise your hand and say, how do I do this? But they did have some clarification questions, like somebody said, Ms. Hoff, does my explanation have to fill up all of these lines of paper? I'm like, oh, no, I just gave you that much space because some people have larger handwriting. I'm not expecting this question to take up that much space. Complete sentences, answer it, you'll be good. So my timeline, or what I suggest, is I'd rather have you work ahead than behind, so you're not scrambling on Wednesday. But by the end of today, at minimum, you want your first and your second constellation done and the questions answered. Some people got to 1 and 2 and then they quit for the day. Personally, I wouldn't do that because you never know how hard the rest of these are going to be. And then by the end of Tuesday, you want the first, the second, the third, and for sure started on the 4th. That leaves you Wednesday to create your own. I'm not going to lie to you, create your own is probably going to take you the longest. So I would leave yourself some time to work on that. And then just a reminder, you have to have it turned in by 3:10 on Wednesday. There's no option of turning in late. If it's not in my hand inbox at 3:10 on Wednesday, you earn a 0. So the other part that's important is your rubric. I wouldn't get that stuff out yet. The other important part is this rubric. So it goes on to give you the essential questions on the left-hand side. Like, did you translate and explain your first constellation? Did you reflect and explain? And you're graded on a scale of 6 to 0. So making sure you read through this. The one that I think is most important on this rubric is that one where you have to create your own constellation. There's some rules of what you have to do and what it has to be in order to earn full credit for what the shape is or what the object is that you make. It does say how well did you present your project. It's neat, it's organized, easy to understand, clearly written, no visible errors on the graph. If you draw really dark and you can't erase it, that's going to lose you points. So just think about that. A lot of people have said, once I'm done, can I outline it in Sharpie? I'd rather you not, because this one's already in a black line. If you outline it in Sharpie, it might not know which one's the original, which one's the new. You know what I mean by that? So just leave it in pencil and that's fine. And then the last part is how well did you utilize the class time given? You can earn up to 4 points on that. Ultimately, I shouldn't have to redirect you, tell you to sit down, tell you to get started, tell you to quit talking. Okay. This is meant to be a change from the typical do the worksheets, take a test, do the worksheets, take a test. Some of you are still looking to raise your quarter 3 grade as much as you possibly can. I think midterm was today or tomorrow, I can't remember which. But this will be a huge help for you, as well as it's a solid chunk of points. Majority of this, people are like, oh my gosh, this seems so difficult. Once they got it open and they got the directions open, they felt a lot better about it. Can you use your notes? 100%. Can you use your math book and other assignments? Absolutely. Can you use Google? No. Can you do this together? No, because every single person's is different. Nobody's project is the same. Okay? So you really should not be doing this together. Thoughts? Questions? Zach, what you got? Yeah, 100%. What you work on it, as long as it's done Wednesday at 3:10, that's totally fine. Somebody said I'm going to work on it in Richmond, I'm going to work on it at home. That's totally fine, especially if you want to earn as many points as possible. The one thing I do worry about that, if you finish it ahead of time and then you mess around in class Tuesday and Wednesday, then it leaves the opportunity to lose points. But if you're like, no, I just want to make sure that I'm ahead of the game, absolutely you can work on it at home. Cool? All right, let me get you your stuff.